Good evening and welcome to our Tuesday Night Live. We're so glad you're here. This live will begin shortly, and we're excited to share this journey with you. This is a space of kindness and encouragement, so let's be welcoming to everyone looking to better themselves. If you have questions, drop them in the chat or use the super chat to make sure it gets addressed. Thank you for being a part of our community. Let's make it a great night. Good morning, everybody. That took a lot longer than it should have. It was initializing and initializing. Yes.
And it's evening, not morning. You said good morning.
Good evening, good afternoon, whatever. Happy Hanukkah. Who knows? But welcome back to Tuesday Night Live. Tonight, we're doing what we do best, keeping it real with some maybe triple B&E talk. We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it, trying new things. We got some things to talk about that are new, that we're going to try. And we're celebrating the keto journey. You know how you do with all of you. And we've got a fun one. Red Raspberry Keto Chow is in the building. We've had it for a while. We're just now finally getting a chance to try it for all of you wonderful people. We're trying it hot as well as cold. Cold is with heavy cream. Hot is with butter. But even more exciting, we're going to be reliving or talking about the incredible Indy Meetup that we went to. People, you all, some of you got to meet this one.
I did get to go for
She's
once.
real. She's not AI generated.
I do exist. It is a thing.
And the moment that Chandra surprised everyone by showing up was pretty awesome. I thought I was going to explode trying to keep that secret.
Yeah, I was told by several people that you were antsy in the parking lot until I got there.
Well, it was kind of coming down to like, okay, she should be here, but there's no way to communicate with you out there because it's in the middle of nowhere. And thoughts on it.
Sounds ridiculous.
It does, but I want to know what you think.
Okay.
And I want to know how much of you do you think she's going to like the red raspberry? Do you think she's not going to like red raspberry?
Are we taking bets?
Yeah.
Anywho.
Nick Weiser, my good friend, my buddy Nick from Toxic Tuesday over on his channel, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. $5.
Woo! Thank you, Nick.
5 American shekels.
Thank
Last
you so
video
much.
on Are We Doomed was hugely great. Well, I appreciate that. I love that. I miss
awesome.
you, Nick.
Thank
I miss
so
you,
much.
Nick. I don't know what's going on. I don't think I have all of the chat in here, so I'm missing some of the chat. So I'll probably
have them on your phone.
I do have it on my phone, so I'll have to go ahead.
You're gonna have to watch him look over here in the corner for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I did see cats today. They are outside. They are doing their thing. I saw Bruce, not Thor, but one of the neighbors posted about Thor. He may or may not have been taken in by a teenager.
Oh yeah, the one.
Yeah.
The one, yeah.
Yeah. She was kind of chasing him around the yard, wanting to pet him, and I haven't seen him today. But Bruce has been out hunting. We have a yard full of dead mice and squirrels.
Squirrel!
I don't know if there's birds yet, but if anybody wants a snack, we have a yard
here. We love Jaheel.
Jaheel. Oh, are you getting all of your comments now?
I'm
Still
not. No, I still don't have them all. But
sometimes this thing is wonky.
This thing's wonky, and our internet should be faster.
Right? We pay enough for it.
We pay a lot of money for this internet, so I'm just trying to get through. Andy's here.
Hi, Andy.
We
Thanks
love
for joining us.
Andy. Peggy Kintner is here. Kintner is here.
Thank you for joining us, Peggy.
Peggy's in the house.
Sue. Peggy Sue.
I don't think that's about her. Could be, though.
Jaheel.
Jaheel says every minute they're late, it is an extra hour of live. Them's the rules.
That's not how this works.
What?
Not an extra hour. Absolutely not.
Charlie's here. You got to meet Charlie.
I did get to meet Charlie. Charlie, it was great to meet you. And I also got to meet Evil Lynn.
Evil Lynn, yes.
I had met Andy before, but I got to meet Susan.
Yeah.
There were so many people. I'm trying to remember who. I know Cindy was there. I know. And her sister was there. And they look very similar. So you can tell they're related.
Yep.
I got to meet Joe and Rachel.
Yep.
I mean, everybody got to meet Joe and Rachel. So that was pretty cool. I got to meet, let's see. Stacy was there with Ken.
Yep.
But I've met them before. But it was good to see them again. There were lots of people, and I'm not the best with names, but I was excited to see everybody, excited to meet everyone. It was pretty. Are they leaving comments that they can't hear us?
I don't know. We'll see. People are saying hello, hello, hello. Amy says that she's sorry that she missed the meeting you.
That's okay. I will try to get to something else. An opportunity arose. I got a friend to cover for me. And I figured, I didn't get to go to the last one because I was sick. So came to this one.
So what was one of the things that you liked the most about the meetup? Because this is the first one you've ever been to outside of the one where we and all of them at a BW3s.
I just thought it was nice how everybody got to sit around and talk and get to know each other. And it was just, a very friend oriented type of thing. I kind of, danced around a little bit and got to talk to different people. Food was good. Everything was just kind of casual, and I like that.
I love it. It's such a good community because one thing that we get there very early to set up. So it was basically just me, Jen, Jackie.
I went to Goodwill.
Of course you did. And it wouldn't have been a surprise for everybody if you were there waiting on them.
True.
I mean, it kind of would. What you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we get there and we set up, and then everybody helps take down the tables, put the chairs away, clean up. So then when everything's done, it's done, and we can just kind of walk away because they're very tiring. Like the social aspect of a meetup when there's 30, 40, 50 people there is tiring.
Well, everybody has a social battery that lasts so long until it's worn down.
Yeah, because she went to Goodwill after I came home and unloaded the car and fell asleep. So
it was a good time. I have become overfull on my hug counter, so I'm charged for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I tried to be as comfortable as I could be with every hug that I received, and I know that they all come from a good place, so I don't want any of you to I came off as uncomfortable. So, sorry if I did.
I don't know. This thing's all kind of acting kind of wonky, so our apologies again. But Booby Goats is in the house.
Booby Goats!
Okay, let me see if I can just do
working.
It should be. We'll see if maybe that will kind of make it less erratic. Something about Tuesdays.
I'm telling you. Is that any better? Can you see us? Can you hear us?
But Chris is here. Carrie's here. There's Maritza's in the house.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Like I said, our everything's kind of wonky on this end, so we're just going to talk and we'll get to as many comments as we can see.
Yeah, it's being awful weird.
Yeah. So we're glad that you're all here.
We appreciate you coming.
And let's see.
What are you looking at?
I'm pulling up things. Let's go ahead and talk about what we've been talking about, BBB&E.
Okay, so we've been talking understanding and acknowledgement that we have my birthday, our daughter's birthday, and your birthday.
And who knows what else coming up because it's middle of summer.
Right. All three of these things coming in June. So understanding that there may be exceptions to those BBB&E, but that need to just be a little healthier and get on it.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we just need to get it going. So we had several off track things in a row, and it's been kind of like one thing leads to another, and then all of a sudden there's this huge snowball going down the hill and it's hard to stop. So I think what we need to do is just get to the BBB&E June 1st. That's an easy day to start with, and just go. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to actually try with bacon and see if I'll be okay, because I have had a little bit of peanut butter here and there, and I've not had the heartburn it's been giving me. So we're going to fingers crossed that something inside of here has corrected. I don't guarantee it, but if it doesn't work with me with the bacon, then I'll substitute with chicken, just so I have more options. It's kind of hard with the BBB&E when you eliminate one of those entirely. So
Aaron is doing BBB&E in June. I think Cindy's doing it. I think Jerry's doing it.
Okay. Well, I think that we'll have plenty of partners to rely on.
Yeah.
So when I get on here on a Tuesday night and complain that I'm sick and tired of meat, you'll know why. And you may be in the same boat.
So I was looking at it like this. I try to simplify mine as much as I can. So much a fan?
Not particularly.
So I look at it like I can eat like a month's worth of hamburger patties for like $140. Market, that's not terrible compared to how much we can how we can spend double that in a week. True. If we're not careful.
True.
So I mean, I can spend like more than that on I can spend more. I can double that in 6 or 8 steaks.
Right. Right.
So, and I will buy and cook and prepare whatever it is you're looking for, because, whatever she wants to eat, I'll buy, prepare, whether it's.
And I'm fine with burgers and eggs. I just don't particularly like the frozen patties.
Yeah.
I feel like they lack flavor. Like I might as well just eat some cardboard. It's about the equivalent for me.
Jaqueline is here.
Jackie!
We miss you, and we got to see you this weekend. I actually saw her on the meetup day, and then I went with her and Doug to grab some brunch. Mm-hmm. So we went there. We went to Rockstar Pizza.
Yes, me.
And I tried their Asiago cauliflower soup.
How was that?
It was actually really good because they're.
I mean, you really can't go wrong with Asiago.
It's
and
true.
Cauliflower.
I mean, if they would have made it with Iago instead of Asiago, it would have been, carnivore.
No, because it still would have had cauliflower.
No, just gone with Iago.
I cannot help that he's a dork. I'm sorry.
I can't help it.
But do you read what Jackie said? She might record a video and upload the challenge.
You better.
You should.
Yes. I miss seeing your face.
That channel's just sitting over there. Nothing going.
What was that? I can't tell what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the comments. It's being very weird.
Yeah, everything's
will show the comment, and then it what's happening.
Well, Danny Beach is in the house.
Hello, hello.
I'll just leave that alone. I'll leave that alone, and I'll try to
read from your phone. See if
that
helps.
Jerry says on a plate, 1 beef patty. That's not enough. 2 eggs, not enough. Cooked in butter and covered with 3 strips of bacon for breakfast every day of BBB&E.
We're going to try it. We're going to see how my stomach does with the bacon. If it does okay, we'll stick with it. If it doesn't, we'll just substitute chicken and go from there.
Thomas is here. Tony is here. Mr. Delisle. Mr. Yes. Chris's dad.
Yes.
Welcome.
See you guys. Oh, I'm sorry for the yawning. I've been working on my eBay all day. Tomorrow, I am going to go play pickleball with some other nurses from work. I've never played before. I can just imagine the hilarious calamity.
It looks like what I would think that, like, if you shrank people down to play table tennis.
It's basically big table tennis.
Yeah, it looks like you're playing with a wiffle ball.
And my daughter said I need to be very careful because she works for an orthopedic office. And she said that they have actually had a lot of people who are playing for fun pickleball and coming in with significant broken bones and injuries because they're falling on the court. So
Carrie basically said that you playing pickleball is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You're correct, sir.
Beverly's in the house.
Beverly
said, just finished a 5-day sardine challenge back to BBB&E. Fried up some ground beef. Going to scramble some eggs in the beef fat to take for lunch tomorrow.
Nice.
Julie in the Pines is here. Julie of the Pines. Julie in the Pines. You know what? She says she's glad to see us. You too.
We're glad to see you too.
Yeah.
He's mean to me.
I am not mean to you.
Cindy told me to hit him.
I drove the stinky cat boxes, all of them in the car to the dump. And then, like, the car still smelled like cat pee all the way back from the dump. I'm like,
you could have opened the windows.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah.
No, they don't work anymore.
That's not true.
Windows don't go down in the car.
Not true.
I'd rather smell it than have to deal with that sound. I hate it so much. Did anybody else hate the sound of the windows being rolled down in the car or like on the interstate?
Yes, fresh air is the worst. That's what I've heard.
Breathing is not fundamental, okay?
Apparently.
All right. So we've talked about our BBB&E. Simplify. Right. I put a video out today about BBB&E. If you haven't got a chance to look at that, it's short. It's like 12 to 20 seconds. I don't know. I worked hard on it. It looks really cool. I had to learn
I even watched it.
I had to learn a new technique. So, like, I made the chalk right on the chalkboard.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked pretty neat. So go check that out.
Pretty cool.
It doesn't have a lot of views, which shorts sometimes either go way off or they don't.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be the guy that goes and deletes it and puts it back up unless it never gets no views.
Does never gets no views.
Mm-hmm. But the other ones I've put up, I put a video up yesterday, the day before, about the sugar diet.
Oh.
And my thoughts, because basically my take on the sugar diet is if you're not jacked already, you shouldn't be doing the sugar diet.
Here's the thing. You don't have to be a genius to see that this is a bad idea, the sugar diet. And I don't want to yuck somebody else's yum or anything like that. But this is a quick way to find out if you are diabetic. I mean, that's honestly what it comes down to. If you eat nothing but sugar and you go into DKA, which typically is not the cause, but could be if that's all you're eating.
But you have to be like type 1 to go to DKA, though, really.
No, you don't. Type 2s go into DKA as well. But if you want to...
Okay, stop and explain what DKA is.
Diabetic ketoacidosis.
And what is that?
It is a medical condition where your blood glucose gets exceptionally high, 500 and above, and you are spitting out ketones because your body is digesting muscle, not fat, and it's causing problems. So it's typically seen in a type 1 diabetic, but it is not unheard of in a type 2 diabetic. It often comes from things like, dehydration, malnutrition. I couldn't get that word out of my mouth. It comes from things like that. Often teenagers will find out they are type 1 diabetic, it happens very frequently with pre-teen to teenage. That's how they find out they're a type 1 diabetic, is that they go into a state of DKA and they get hospitalized, because when you're in that state, and that is not ketosis, that is diabetic ketoacidosis. It is a different series of words altogether. When somebody goes into that, they can often experience a loss of consciousness. It is a medical emergency. You need to be seen by a doctor. You need to be admitted to a hospital for treatment. But what I'm saying is, if you want to find out a quick way, if you're a diabetic in some way, shape, or form, and or push yourself into a state of DKA, that's a potential. I mean, this is, if you're eating nothing, and I haven't looked into it, I don't know exactly what all of the rules are for that or whatever.
So
it sounds to me like you're just eating whatever you want, as
the
long
basic
as it's all
gist
sugar.
is extremely low protein, extremely low fat, basically as low protein and low fat as you can get, and then about 600 grams of carbohydrates. Depending on who you talk to, some will say primarily from fruits, though a lot of the ones that are doing it with candy and Coke and all that stuff.
I need some drink. I would say it sounds like a bad idea. You can do all fruits and vegetables and whatnot. There are vegans who are.
You can. I wouldn't necessarily say they were
I wouldn't
healthiest.
say they're healthy, but there are vegans surviving.
Like the raw vegans, and
yeah.
some have not made it.
But I would definitely think that it doesn't sound like a good idea. It doesn't sound like a good idea. Like, to me, I would think, it sounds like I really want to get cavities. I want to get fat. I want to, I want to push my pancreas to the limit and see what all it can tolerate. It doesn't sound like it makes sense. Never in my lifetime has it been that sugar is good for you. And mind you, we already know the problems that have happened within the American diet, the ADA, all of that.
Not even just that. We know what happens with us. We know what happens when we incorporate too much, or when neither one of us are very able to moderate.
Right. But I mean, just going with what you've heard in the news, on TV, and nobody's ever been like, you know what? M&Ms are really good for you. Go eat a bag right now. Nobody does that. Not even the candy companies.
But like Lucky Charms are part of a complete breakfast.
Right. I'm just saying, if we were ever fully convinced that Lucky Charms was good for us, why wouldn't we be eating it for every meal?
Right, but then they did trick us that mini wheats are good for us.
That's true.
Mini wheats,
but
Wheaties.
But you don't look at that and think sugar.
Right.
I mean, the sugar cereals, you're not looking at those going, you know what?
But if you ever stop and look at them side by side, they're almost identical.
That's true. But I can't think of anybody who would reasonably go, eating nothing but sugar sounds like a good plan.
Now, let's play devil's advocate here for a second.
Would anybody say eating nothing but meat sounds like a good plan?
Right. Someone a vegan, someone a vegetarian.
You're right.
They're looking at, carnivores line. Even keto, like when we started keto, I had very, very, very close friends of mine going, well, enjoy your heart attack.
Right. I mean, I really honestly think, though, if you compare the two, if I had the option between eating only meat and eating only sugar, before knowing what I know about keto, right? Before seeing what I've seen with keto, and that includes me not really having any weight loss whatsoever. Would I want to do the sugar diet? Probably, because I'm a sweets person. Would I be so disillusioned to think that a sugar diet is going to fix me and make me feel better? No. Even back then, not knowing what I know now, I would be like, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. And I love fruit. I would eat fruit until I couldn't get off the toilet with diarrhea. Like, I would do that. I love fruit. I would eat citrus fruit until I would have sores in my mouth, because I love citrus fruit. And again, very minimal self-control when it comes to eating fruits. But I just couldn't think in my head that that could be healthy. When I was a kid, there was things like the watermelon diet and the
My mom did the grapefruit
diet and things like that, where you just you can eat as much as you want. Nobody was ever successful on any of
My mom
those.
lost weight while she did it, but it wasn't sustainable, like the
Right.
lemon water diet.
Yeah, and none of it's sustainable, and you don't feel good when you do it. You feel like crap. I mean, I was the only kid I've ever known who was on a diet before I ever hit middle school. And it didn't matter what I restricted, it wasn't making anything better. This is the only diet where I'm not losing weight, but I feel physically better when we stick to it and I don't stray and I'm not drinking a bunch of soda and crap like that. I actually feel good. I don't feel exhausted all. I have a baseline level of tired. I think that comes with like 3 children, grandchild, nurse. It's just life at this point. There's like a baseline tired, okay? But I don't feel exhausted. I don't feel incapable of living my life, of getting up and doing things. So I think, there isn't a way that I can't even begin to think that people would be so disillusioned to think that eating straight sugar would make sense.
I want to take a moment here and I want to talk about Malia here. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Malia Unthank, which is Cindy's daughter-in-law. Okay,
No.
so Cindy, her and her, well, I can't
My
talk.
name is Charlie.
Yes, Charlie and my mom Cindy mentioned that you wanted our GoFundMe to mention it in your live, and I want to say I appreciate it. Yes, so if one of my wonderful moderators can pull that up and put that in the chat for everybody in lieu of any super chats or any donations, anything you want to do for us, please put them towards that for the next couple of days. I would appreciate anybody helping them out. My understanding is they were in a car accident. They've totaled their vehicle. The vehicle was paid off, though they have now issues with trying to get themselves into a new vehicle, which can be very difficult. And without a vehicle, you really can't get anywhere, can't go to work, can't do things. And I know that there was another thing in here as well. Let me see if I can find it. Again, my things here aren't been doing what I want them to do. So let me see if I can find it here.
Your things aren't been doing.
You know what? My words aren't working either.
It's all one big glitch. All of
Yeah,
it.
so basically she's saying that they're out of work still for another month, been out of work for a month. That's why I keep the GoFundMe going. It's getting hard not having our car and not working. Yeah, I understand that. So if someone would put that in the chat, please, I can try and see if I can find it. I don't know if somebody can find that here. I had it the other day. Let's see. It's Malia.
So Malia and Charlie, is that their names? Charlie's one of their names.
Yeah.
Is Malia the other? Is that
Yeah, I think I found it with
he's now searching.
there we go.
Yes, it is Malia and Charlie. Okay, trying to get this copied and sent over.
I'm going to put it in the chat here.
So if there's any super chats or anything to that you guys would want to send to us, or if you were thinking of spending $20 on Amazon, but it's really not necessary, and you want to put $20 toward this, it would really be helpful. I'm sure Charlie and Malia, could use the help. Can't even imagine what it would be like to not have a car and not be able to get to work, and how ends would still meet. So if you guys could chip in what you can, a little bit, every little bit adds up and helps, it would be super appreciated.
I got to go to do my, let's see.
Getting it to work.
Yeah, I got it. For some reason, it gives a super long link and it won't go in the thing. So I got to go my short link here.
Oh, the technological things.
Yeah.
Anywho. I'm sorry. I'm watching him. I'm figuring out what to do, what this is.
Let's see if it'll let me do it now. Ugh, it didn't work. Hold on. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Wait, did you put it on there twice?
No, it's just super duper long.
Oh, well. Anywho.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like when you copy the link, it's got to be like so long.
It is really long. Anywho, I don't know how he's working this. I'm going to try this
All right.
raspberry keto chow in the cold, which is slightly lukewarm now because it's been sitting here. Okay.
It kind of smells like cereal.
It smells like raspberries.
There we go. That's what I want.
It's very...
There we go. There's the GoFundMe to help out
Charlie and Malia.
Yep.
Try that.
I haven't tried it yet. When I was mixing it up, it smelled like crunch berries.
Try that.
It does smell like crunch berries though, doesn't it?
I don't remember. I never ate that crap.
All right,
that was terrible. Terrible. You know, the cereals that I liked the cranberry almond crunch and the blueberry morning, not the sugary junk stuff, except for cinnamon toast crunch. That was bomb.
Cinnamon Life.
No, cinnamon toast crunch.
You like Cinnamon Life.
It's okay. I like cinnamon toast crunch.
And cinnamon checks too.
Cinnamon toast crunch. If I was going to make a choice that wasn't the supposed healthier option, it would be cinnamon toast crunch.
No, this is the first time I've ever tried it with heavy cream, and it's kind of thicker than I thought it would be.
It's thick.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the texture.
Yeah.
The flavor comes as an afterthought.
Yeah, I think that's the problem when you're dealing with the
cream.
With the heavy cream, right.
Yeah, the flavor is not at the forefront. It's an afterthought. And it does taste very jelly. Like a not a real raspberry, like a raspberry jelly.
I mean, it's a candy kind of flavor.
Yeah, it's not a fan of it cold. It's a no for me. Let's try this one.
Get your votes in, ladies and gentlemen. So what do you think of it hot?
It's worse.
How is it worse?
It's worse. It just is. It's worse. It's bad. Butter and berries just don't go. They're just not friends.
I like
it's
it.
A no.
I like it.
It's a hell no for me.
It does kind of give me that like crunch berry flavor.
It's just no. Just absolutely not. No. No.
Stacy M said that she remembers being on Weight Watchers when she was like 10. I remember there was I don't know if I remember her name, but I remember being in like the 4th or 5th grade. And I remember there was a type 1 diabetic who would come in and he would have a snack. He got to eat in class, but you remember elementary school, how big of a deal that would be, right?
Right.
He'd have like a half a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or whatever, you know what I mean, as a snack. And then there was another girl, she was on a water diet. So she had she had to drink so many cups of water a day sitting there. She had obviously had to go to the bathroom more than the rest of us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was just like, come on.
Yeah. So we had very long double door cabinets in our kitchen. And my mom kept all of her cookbooks in there. And if you open the cabinet door, taped on both sides of the door was the things that I was allowed to eat and my exercise plan. And I think I was in 4th grade. So I was the only fat one out of 5 kids. And I was 80s fat, not fat, now fat. Now I'm now fat, but back then I was 80s fat.
All right, reverse that and explain what you just said.
So 80s fat.
Give me that hot drink. I'm going to drink some more of that.
Ugh, yuck. 80s fat for kids was not generally the guy in Goonies. That was really like an obese. Most of us kids that were fat in the 80s were thinner than that. And not to pick on kids who were that big, but that was not the norm.
Even that today would not be considered that big.
Right. But it was like 80s fat was different. You just were too big for the things that should have fit you at the time. And it wasn't necessarily like you were this huge obese thing. You were just a little thicker than everybody else. So I was 80s fat. When I go back and look at pictures, I'm like, I wasn't even fat. Like looking at me compared to the other kids, like I had a small gut and it wasn't like I couldn't have even done the truffle shuffle justice. Like I was not that big, but I was the fattest of 5 kids and well, the family sure made me know it. So, but
Jerry said when I was 70s fat, I was really not that fat.
Yeah. When I look back now at me in the 90s, and I thought I was huge. I thought I was giant in high school. Like I starved myself. There were times when I didn't eat for like almost, a week. And when I did eat, I ate spaghetti. Like I didn't hardly eat at all. And like I wore a size 12, and you would have thought that that was wearing a size 44 pant. But I wore a size 12. Well, I'm 5'7", and a size 12 really isn't that big on a 5'7" tall woman who's, and I know everybody hates the phrase. I don't want to hear it from the peanut gallery, big boned. I'm not big boned. I'm just a big person. Even if I'm thin, I'm still a big person. I remember asking my pediatrician, like, how come I just can't lose any more weight than this? And he was like, what is wrong with you? You don't need to lose more weight. You look normal. You are normal. And I was like, but my sister, she looks like a twig. And he was like, you're built different from her. You're never going to look like her. But anywho, yeah, 80s fat was not today fat. 80s fat was very different. 90s fat even was very different from where we are right now.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at like, I remember watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
And the guy that had the giant house with the bathtub and how big he was. If you go back and watch that now, you'd be like, well, he's not big now.
I just remember like feeling like the kid who did the truffle shuffle and feeling like I was at least that big, but probably bigger. I was huge. Well, I was the Michelin Man.
Well, it didn't help that clothes didn't go that big, really.
And then I went I go back and look at pictures and I'm like, that's normal. That's not big. That's normal. That's average. That's not even fat. Like that's average.
Well, it's like I remember going back and looking at pictures of myself in a wedding. I was a groomsman in a wedding, and I remember just thinking how big I was, and then I look back and I was like thin. I was like,
yeah,
thin.
Yeah. Well, there are pictures of my graduation day when I was in high school, and the girls wore white dresses and the men wore tuxes. And my kids have seen the picture of me on my graduation day, and they're like, Mom, you look so thin. You look like you were dead. And I was like, that's what happens when you don't eat through entire high school because you're so worried about being fat. It sure didn't help because I springboarded the other direction. But now I see pictures of me now and I'm like, oh God, that fat lady ate me. Why is that fat guy standing in front of me? Oh, wait, it's me. Oh. Anyway, what's everybody else got going on?
I don't even know.
We're just like here, just talking. But
And Jerry said that basically all the 70s fat started to get with the margin on the Crisco.
Yeah. Well, and like, I've never not that I can't, I can eat a lot. I can. If I want to, I can and I will. But I never really ate a lot when I was young. I would, like I said, I would sit down and I would eat grapefruit until I had sores in my mouth.
So growing up, it was my mom, my brother, and I until about the 7th grade. Then my grandmother moved in with us, and then she started to cook dinner. And when she moved in, our meals changed.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up with my mom cooking meals for us, it was fish sticks with canned carrots, and then she would add sugar to them to make them sweeter, so we'd eat them.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have the Chef Boyardee pizzas
Mm-hmm.
with just the pizza box stuff, nothing extra.
Yeah.
Or we'd have Salisbury steak and then mashed potatoes from a box. It's not that my mom couldn't cook. I think she was just not.
It was probably easier.
Yeah, it was very easier. Yeah.
I mean, that's what our life was with the kids here. I mean, Kraft macaroni and cheese is about one of the quickest things you can make. And it's so easy to do. I taught the kids to do it.
Well, that's like, when I joined this family, it was
frozen pizza, Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yep, ramen noodles or
spaghetti,
fajitas.
Easy food.
Because we'd buy the fajita in the bag.
Yeah.
And it would come with the tortillas in the bag. They were frozen or whatever. I think they came with
no, just the meat.
The meat. Well, we had to add the meat, I think. Well, there was chicken fajitas and it had the rice and all that stuff already. You just put the frozen cubes of whatever in there with the sauce and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that. It was
easy food because I worked.
I worked till 6.
We both worked
and then
a ton.
I had to, by the time I got back to this side of town, it was almost 7. I had to stop and visit my mom at the nursing home or go see my grandma, go to the store. So by the time I got home and started cooking dinner, it was almost 8 o'clock or after 8. And then you're trying to get the kids to finish up dishes. And then they're screaming at you because they don't want to do the dishes.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to eat. And then you're trying to get a little bit of relaxation before you go to bed. You're going to get up and do it all over again the next day.
Yeah. And I was working as many days as I could just to keep food on the table and keep things moving. And I mean, I definitely I was working sometimes 5 and 6 days straight just to keep food on the table and keep things moving.
Sean's here. He said, sorry, we're late. We're on West Coast time.
All right. Well, that's okay. We're glad you're here. We've been stuttering in and out anyway.
Yeah. I mean, this has been a mess. Andy says that she was the only overweight person in her family. Brother, sister, mom, dad, all skinny. I'm working on it. The thing is skinny shouldn't be the goal. And that's something that I was thinking about today because I caught, and I'm not going to talk about this creator because I don't know them very well. I don't know them at all.
Mm-hmm.
But this creator showed up on my feed and they're talking about they've been gone for a while. They haven't posted any videos in a while. And then they're like, basically, I would give away more details. Somebody might know who they are. But anyway, they're kind of like, they've had a lot of life things going on and kind of going the easy route with food, as you will when you're really stressed out.
Right.
And more comforting foods, more things like that. But even now that they are trying to get back on track, they're kind of walking away from keto and such because they're like, I need to fix my relationship with food. And I think that's important, but I don't necessarily know you need to walk away from a keto or a proper human diet to do so. I think you have to look and understand who you are with your food, because even if you're doing keto, say you want watermelon or some berries or an apple or whatever, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
And I think, we got to stop putting shame on the food. We got to stop shaming people for pepper and onions and these things and like the carnivore community. And you're not carnivore because you had coffee. Now you're whatever. The carnivore police are on their way. Or keto. I've seen it just as bad with the keto community in the past years. And, realistically, we shouldn't be worried about weight. We shouldn't have a goal weight necessarily. I mean, I know we all have something in mind, but I think we need to be focusing on, how do I get myself healthy? How do I feel my best? And that's, where that triple B&E comes in for us, because we know that we feel very good when we're doing it. And it helps cut out the food noise. It helps cut out the cravings. It helps us stay on track a little bit better than just kind of winging it. Like if I know that I'm going to eat burger patties, eggs, bacon, and whatnot, then I know that that's what I'm going to have. That's what I'm going to gravitate towards. That's what I'm going to cook. And if I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat.
Well, and I know that if there are less options, I'm going to choose less of the bad crap, because I'm a bad picker. I'll pick the bad stuff if it's here. If it's not here, I won't eat it. So there's that. And then there's also for me, there's only so much of that I can eat. There's only so much of that I can eat. And then I'm just going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to eat today. I'm okay. I'm good. Not into it. I just, I don't know. Anywho, what else are we going to talk about? We are going to try triple B&E. We are getting back to that in June 1st, with the exception knowing that my birthday is the 6th, your birthday is the 25th, our daughter's birthday is the 12th. So we know there are going to be exceptions to our rule. Pre-planned, we know they're coming. We know that I know that on the Thursday before my birthday, I'm going to be drunk. It's just going to happen. I already know this. Pre-planned. Planned it a week ago, 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
So, and that's okay. I've already got it covered.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll be triple B&E back again the next day.
We'll see how the next day goes. So that next day is actually your birthday.
That's true, but I have to work on the Saturday, so.
Yeah.
But we're doing this because I feel better and you feel better when we are.
Jaquellin's birthday is the 8th.
Your birthday is the 8th. I can't be drunk on the 8th. It's already planned for the 5th. I can't do 2.
You're going to drink a 5th?
No.
No.
Not even close.
No.
Doesn't take that much anymore.
No.
Doesn't take that much anymore.
So yeah, there's just some stuff that I've been thinking about today and over the last week or so. I mean, I did talk with you guys on Sunday, and we went pretty deep, in that 2 hours, and I just want to make sure that we're doing the best we can for each other. We're doing the best that we can for ourselves.
And keeping the community in mind, keeping other people in mind. And this is sort of like a life thing. And I'm sure you all, don't need our life advice, but it doesn't make you feel any better to make somebody else feel worse.
And there's no reason that, you like, that's why I try to share people's stuff out, whether it's channels or things you're working on, art you're doing, music you make, whatever it is.
There's no reason why you can't raise somebody else
No,
up.
because we all need it and we're all better for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't,
this concept that people should be at war with each other all the time over everything, political ideas, views on X, Y, or Z, or you like purple and I like pink. There's no reason.
Unless you're 6.
There's no reason to get in an argument over any of that. Okay, you can like this and I can like this, and that's okay. Because it's really not whatever you're doing. I mean, not you in particular. Whatever you're doing isn't necessarily impacting my life. So what does it matter to me? As long as you're not hurting innocent people, then it really, or animals, not cool with that either. But as long as you're not hurting innocent people or animals, then I'm really not affected by the decisions that you make. And my job as a human being is to treat you like a civil human being as well. My job is to go, okay, we have differing viewpoints. If we can't come together on an agreement of something that we both can say yes to, then we can agree to disagree. And that's okay too. And it doesn't make you or me any less of a person. So I agree. We rise by lifting others. That's very true, Charlie. And I remembered your name and I know what you look like. Ha!
Shauna dozed off.
That's okay.
We're boring.
I know I'm boring. It's a thing.
We're boring.
I know we're boring.
Steph said hello. It was great to meet you.
It was good to meet you too. Yeah, I couldn't remember everybody's name. Sorry. I tried. I did remember
It's
Charlie's
a
name.
lot.
It is a lot.
It takes me a couple of times to get everybody down.
I gotta so at work, in order to remember my patients' names, I have to fill out our whiteboard anyway, but I write it really big on the whiteboard because sometimes I'll walk into a patient's room and I swear doorways steal thoughts. They just do. I don't know how to explain it. Have you ever walked through a doorway and whatever you were just thinking of, it's gone? There's something sitting on top of that doorway. It just went and plucked it right out of your brain. So oftentimes I'll walk into my patient's room and I'll know my patient's name is Fred. I'll walk into their room and immediately I'll go, hey. And I just turn my eyes, Fred, because I wrote it on the board and I wrote it really big so I can see it from the door.
We need to give a big, huge shout out to Sherry. It's her birthday today. Her birthday. Happy birthday, Sherry.
Happy birthday, Sherry. Happy birthday from all of us to you. Something, something, something. Happy birthday, happy birthday. I don't know the rest.
Shannon smells like she's in a zoo. Anyway.
You are a zoo.
I am. Well, it's like today we were in the car and we were getting ready to take the girl to school and we hit the GPS button and I hit it and my brain just goes, and then she gets like kind of salty with me. She's like, meh, 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 meh. I'm like, I as I'm hitting the button, I'm like, yep, I know it. And then I hit the button and I'm like,
I just, everything in you and the computer have all been glitching all day.
Well, so yesterday I decided I had to go to the bathroom. Had to go to the bathroom.
She had to go to the bathroom.
So, I go in there and I have a seat and someone starts knocking like they're the police on our door.
Actually, they knocked like somebody we knew, you know, that sort of like obnoxious, happy, knock, 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 knock. And you're like, oh God, who is it? And I didn't get up because I'm upstairs working.
I'm hollering, I'm on the toilet.
And I can't hear him when I'm upstairs and he's in the bathroom down here. And so I'm just like, doing my work, expecting he's going to get up and check the door. And I don't hear the door open. And then the knock happens again. And of course, okay, TMI, I'm PMSing right now. So everything makes me just a little bit irritated. I kind of have irritated as a baseline along with my tired. And so I get up to go downstairs like, oh, I guess I'll get it.
And I'm like, I'm on the toilet.
And I go open the door and nobody's there. And I'm like, oh, well, whatever. Whoever it was, they left. And I'm probably happy that they did because one of the neighbors
They're probably happy they did.
It was probably somebody selling something. And I'm already not particularly nice to people selling things because I don't go to your house and knock on your front door to try to sell you my eBay stuff.
I mean, I'm at your house right now trying to sell you stuff.
No, you're not.
No, their house.
They have the opportunity to shut you off.
Their house right there. Those people right there.
Those people right there.
Those people right there. You right there. You want to touch my finger?
My nose you're trying to pick.
You want to touch my finger?
No.
I'll pick your nose.
No. Anyway. But I do get frustrated with people trying to sell stuff because it does say no solicitors at the front of the neighborhood. And I have been nice 10,005 times. And at this point, I'm old and I'm mean. Get off my porch. But nobody was there. So I didn't have to yell at anybody. I didn't say kindness to you, do I?
on the holiday, too.
On a holiday.
Go home.
How you dare.
Right?
Anywho.
But anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and call it quits for the night. We're a little under an hour, but Keto Chow will be starting soon. And this chat, if everything goes according to plan, which so far it has not, you can expect it to go pop over there for you.
Yes.
I want to make sure I didn't miss any of the super chats. We did get Nick's super chat.
Yes.
And,
And if, again, keep in mind of sharing to the GoFundMe for
Cindy's son
kids.
And daughter, yeah,
Cindy's kids, Charlie and Ma something with an M.
I don't know. Hold on, let me see.
Now he just got rid of it on his phone, so I can't see it now.
Anyway, the link is in there. We appreciate you. I will try and make a post about it on my community tab posts. But I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. Your energy, your support, your commitment to this way of life keeps us going. Whether you're BBB&E, cutting back on sugar, we're proud of you. And just remember, progress isn't always about perfection. Sometimes it's about choosing what serves your body best one day at a time. Thanks for letting us share our story with y'all. We'll always keep it honest. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Do the thing you do. Go to KetoSimple.shop. Help support what we do. Being here for you guys. Until next time, keep it simple, keep it keto, do all the fun things that we love.
Bye, guys.
And with that, we love y'all. We'll see you later.
Have a good night.
Here are the credits.